Mirage is a versatile playstyle hero who excels in extended fights. By throwing out fire scarabs and transforming into a tornado, Mirage can damage, lift up, and rip the health away from his targets while applying Djinn's mark to build up insane burst damage. Welcome to the Mirage Hero Overview.
Well, I think the US is interested in money and power, and the Djinn can offer both.
Mirage's one is Fire Scarabs. When activated, Mirage can launch up to 4 Scarabs at his enemies. Each Scarab can only hit one enemy, but does travel through them if they've already been affected. When a Scarab hits an enemy, it steals max health away from them, lowers their bullet resist, and does a little bit of damage. When a Scarab hits an enemy hero specifically, it steals 3 times the amount of health away from them for a short period of time. Fire Scarab's ability upgrades are a lower cooldown, increased bullet resist reduction, and increased health stolen away from enemies hit. Fire Scarabs are great for poking enemies in lane or when prepping for a team fight and will build up your health before fully engaging. Mirage's 2 is Tornado. Mirage transforms himself into a tornado that travels forward, damaging enemies and lifting them into the air for a few seconds. Once he transforms back into Mirage, he also gains bullet evasion for a few seconds, allowing him to dodge enemy fire. Tornado's ability upgrades are a longer enemy lift duration, a lowered cooldown, and additional bullet evasion. Tornado is the perfect engage tool during teamfights, as it can quickly catch enemies off guard and provide a stationary target for your team to attack from the start. It can also be used as an escape option for Mirages that get caught out or just find themselves in a bad situation. Mirage's 3 is Djinn's Mark. Djinn's Mark channels the energy of the Djinn into Mirage's bullets, making his shots apply an increasing multiplier onto the target's hit. Mirage only increases this multiplier once every 2.5 seconds with a max multiplier of 8 at level 1. When the multiplier on the target expires or reaches its max, it's consumed and the target takes spirit damage and is briefly revealed on the map. The final damage is the base damage times the number of multipliers applied to the target. So if you manage to fully max the multiplier, you'll be doing the base damage times 8. This skill can also be activated early by pressing your 3 key, dealing the damage and additional effects instantly. Djinn's Mark ability upgrades are 80% slow applied at 2 times multiplier or higher, longer stacking duration and increased base damage, and a lower per stack cooldown and an increased multiplier. Djinn's Mark is the perfect ability in lane and can be used to deal a constant burst of damage to enemies you can shoot. Even if they are out of your effective range, a stack will still be applied and can be activated for additional damage. Another important note is that it only takes 1 bullet to increase the multiplier, so you can shoot an enemy once, focus on some troopers, and then shoot them again to double the multiplier and reset the timer. Mirage's ultimate is Traveler. Mirage targets an ally or enemy portrait visible on the minimap, and then teleports to their location after a brief channel. While channeling, he can see the location and know what he's up against. Once he teleports, he gains movement speed and increased fire rate until his next reload. Traveler's ability upgrades are increased movement speed after the teleport, a lowered cooldown, and gaining immunity to stun, silence, sleep, roots, and disarms for 3 seconds after landing. Traveler opens up a ton of options for Mirage, allowing him to split push lanes and teleport to safety, or to help turn fights in his team's favor by teleporting directly into the middle of the action. Try and find opportunities to use Traveler every time it's off cooldown. Mirage is a versatile hero with the ability to be played in 2 distinct ways that depend on your preferred playstyle. For those looking for a safer, potentially more consistent style of play, I'd recommend a gun-focused build that emphasizes Mirage's ability to deal damage from range. If you type Mr. Sandman and look for the build by JellyKnees, you'll be able to use the one you see on screen. The notable items in this build are Long Range and Sharpshooter, which will increase your damage at longer ranges, allowing you to whittle down enemies and then execute them with a max multiplier Djinn's Mark. The second, more high-risk playstyle is a melee Mirage build that lets you get in close and lift enemies with Tornado. The goal with this build and playstyle is to lift your enemies, land some free headshots, and then begin punching them to death while stealing away their stats thanks to the new Spirit Snatch item. While you will be slowly building up your punching prowess, your big power spike will be centered around Hunter's Aura, Life Strike, and Spirit Snatch. Once you've picked all those up, save up your souls for Echo Shard, which will allow you to Tornado twice per fight instead of just once. Regardless of which build you go with, you should make sure to use Fire Scarabs in every fight to help increase your max health and whittle your enemies down further. Mirage's kit makes him a dominant force in the early and late parts of a match, but from 10 minutes to about 25 minutes you need to be fairly selective with the fights you take. Because Mirage is dependent on itemization to become a late game whirlwind, Play safe around your team and farm neutral camps and lanes when you know enemies are elsewhere on the map. A good opponent will know this is when you're weakest and want to put you behind as much as they can. Now I pass it off to you. What builds have you seen on Mirage, and what's your favorite playstyle so far on him? Let me know in the comments alongside who you want to see a hero overview for next time. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.